contested race to put Archivist Elysiana, kind of the big decision that they make. And looking at these players' decks that they've decided to tech for anti-warrior and secondary and tertiary, Eddie has Baleful Banker, double Sephorian Bomber, Grommash, and Alexstrasza, and Bloodyface has a double Mega Assembly, Baleful Banker, a Mega Devastator, and Archivist. So he does have Archivist in his secondary, should he need it, which he will, going to games 2 and 3.
All right.
A lot of information to take in. We know it's week 1 here. It's day 1 for Americas. Well, plenty of time to break down Specialist every week. There's going to be a lot of nuance. A lot of things are going to change as we move forward.
If you guys are still watching, and
if you guys are still watching
from the beginning,
yes,
and are starting to feel a little discouraged on Specialist, one of the things about it is that, well, one, this is not reflective in every region. If 13 out of 16 Warriors were in every single region, I think that'd just be something that we have to change immediately. It's not the case. This just happens to be that all the Americas players strongly reacted to the belief that Rogue is the best deck, and they wanted to be able to beat that, but they all kind of thought the same thing while hedging for a few other corner case scenarios. And that sometimes will happen in the Specialist format, which is something that I think people have notably criticized. That being said, I expect week to week for it to change dramatically. Especially because maybe Warrior isn't even necessarily the right bring, because we've seen other decks like the Cyclone Mage perform very well today.
Yeah, Cyclone Mage has been beating the Warriors, and surprisingly, because of how you can tech the deck, it's also been beating Rogues, which has traditionally been one of its weaknesses.
What now?
Maybe not so much with the Cyclone Mage as opposed to, say, Summoner Mage, which had even more vulnerabilities because it had less early game. But still, something to keep in mind. But for this week, Dan, we're stuck with some Warriors.
All right, well, Bloodyface gets the first bomb shovel in his deck, but he kept Dr. Boom Mad Genius in his opening hand, so he's going to be okay. Ooh, nice rip here with the Weapons Project to stop the Wrench Caliber in its place. One less bomb ready to deal with. All right, I see you.
Gotta get my bomb counter going. I'm running out of page space here, Dan. Bloodyface, 1 bomb.
Eddie, you know, as a result, this dynamic between Elysiana, one player having Elysiana, makes it so that both players are okay with drawing cards pretty aggressively.
Yep.
So I'm actually okay with the idea that the matchup feels a little bit more lopsided.
It gets weird when both players have Elysiana in their main deck.
Right.
That's where it gets weird.
Or neither player have Elysiana.
Well, neither player have Elysiana, then both players are also
playing very slow.
Playing, well, Muzzy and Frozen played that matchup, and basically came down to they played fast until the bomb started to reach a critical mass, and then they just kept 10 cards in their hand for the rest of the game. Like, that was the goal, right? Until Frozen burned enough of the bombs off. Like, that was...
I mean, it depends on what you define as fast. Neither player playing an Acolyte or a Shield Block and holding.
Ah, well, no, Muzzy played Shield Blocks. Or Frozen played Shield Blocks.
Like one. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They played as fast as I could expect Warriors to play in that given situation.
I don't know. They weren't even playing Town Crier on like 1.
No, he played Town Crier 1. He didn't play Eternium 1.
Oh, wait. No, you're correct. All right. I stand corrected.
There's a large amalgamation of Warrior memories in my head from the last 4 hours. So,
Nightmare Amalgam. A way I can describe my recollection of all the Warrior mirrors.
Yes. I'm beginning to think that other decks don't exist in Hearthstone.
Other classes.
No, just other decks. Because there's other Warrior decks out there.
Wow. Augmented Elec Clockwork Gnome. So that sets you up for the Blastmaster Boom. Or the Dr. Boom. This is interesting. Bloodyface actually has a couple of lines that he can take in this position. He could play like the more minion-centric, or he could play a little bit more setup-oriented, play Dr. Boom first, and then utilize things like his mechs with Rush in order to respond to what Eddie does. But he is on the play. On the play meaning that he is the one getting the Mana Crystal before his opponent, which means that he's the one that should be the one taking initiative, hypothetically. And also, he is a deck that doesn't have Elysiana, so taking the proactive stance tends to be better on average. The only thing is that his opponent also has so much armor that it feels like his opponent has several ways to pick apart this board. There's Dynamatics, there's Celiacs, there's Shield Slam, there's Militia Commander, pretty much everything.
What now?
Warrior cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, warrior cards tend to do that.
Yeah.
Running out of time.
So looks like with this, Bloodyface is going to favor the Dr. Boom Mad Genius setup.
Yeah. So this is a big decision point. Bloodyface is forced to be the aggressor in this matchup because he does not have access to Archivist Elysiana. He also doesn't have any anti-combo tools like Hecklebot to try and pull out his opponents. So playing a long control style game is not going to be in his favor. He needs to find a way to kill Eddie. That's his only way to win. So he's thinking that his best chance to win is by playing Dr. Boom Mad Genius this turn and assembling a mass of bombs in a few turns and trying to go for the full tempo plan and saying, I'm going to just have minion after minion after minion, instead of this kind of middling ground where you'd have minion, then Dr. Boom, then minions.
Right. You don't want to interrupt the flow.
Yeah, exactly. And that's important because also the best way to kind of get those bombs is to sprinkle them throughout to keep the life total in check and then go for one last blow. That was Bloodyface's decision point there, his decision tree. His other decision tree would have been to go for Augmented Relic into Clockwork Gnome and then follow that up with Blastmaster Boom, but then his dead turn would have come once the Blastmaster Boom was dealt with. And then he would have had the dead turn in a weird spot where he would have to play Mad Genius. So playing it now, he thought, and I agree, is his best course of action. 2 bombs in Bloodyface's deck.
Yeah, it's about to be a little bit more in the coming turns here. Bloodyface has also the opportunity to save Clockwork Gnome and Augmented Relic and Wrench Caliber all for 1 turn.
That's a long time to wait, though.
It is a long time to wait. It's just an option he has at his disposal. If he goes for Augmented Relic, Clockwork Gnome, he can hero power this turn. The one thing I don't like about Wrench Caliber is it seems fairly mana inefficient unless you're going to swing once and then pass. Like without the Augmented Relic.
I think swinging once hero power pass is fine. Then next turn, if he doesn't have weapon removal, you go for Augmented Relic, Clockwork Gnome, swing, shuffle 4 bombs in 1 turn. That seems reasonable.
That does seem reasonable.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
How do you work Blastmaster Boom in that scenario?
You just play it at the end.
Okay. Fair enough. Eddie's at 9 cards, so he's close to being able to burn the bombs, but there's only 1 bomb shuffle in the deck for now.
Uno bomba.
Perfect. Flawless Spanish.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sorry. Your Spanish threw me off. It's like, wow, TJ's a multi-language star. First he speaks Chinese in front of the Taiwanese audience. Now he's, well, you missed the Latin American crew. But PNC will be playing next against Firebat.
There you go.
So there you go. Save it. Save it, TJ.
Portuguese has some similarities to Spanish as well.
Yeah, I think they're all Latin-based languages.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Eddie doesn't have anything very good proactive to play here. His best play would be to swing and play Blastmaster Boom. He feel very good to play up against a Dr. Boom Mad Genius because he has the rush on all the mechs. Could just Militia Commander pass.
Defend the gates!
Yuck.
Now we have the 4 bomb shuffle possibility here for Bloodyface. That's almost as good as it gets, to be honest.
6 bombas.
Unless he's able to get another Clockwork Gnome to continue the train, but you're getting
This
4
would be a
bombs.
good time for a master plan.
It's a lot. It's 5 bombs. total in Eddie's deck?
No, that's 6.
6 bombs
Yeah.
total in Eddie's deck.
6 bombas, Dan. Come on, man. Keep up. Wait, no, maybe it's 5. I don't know. Yeah, Bloodyface has 2 in his deck. No, you're right. It's 5. It's 5.
What's with the shields?
I apologize, Dan.
Trying to keep his minions alive as best as he can. Force like a warpath. I mean, this isn't. I guess he saw militia commanders, so he's a little bit less afraid of like the rush minions.
Yeah.
Just a little bit though. Eddie has every way he wants to pick apart this board. The one thing that he would like to do is remove the augmented Elix. So even though Dr. Boom seems like a logical thing to play right now, he doesn't. He wants to guarantee of clearing the Elix. He could Dr. Boom and shield slam the Elix if he really needs to. Last Master Boom it is. It's the full board, right?
Yes, there are 3 bombs. Which is a fully loaded Blast Master Boom. All right, now there's 2 bombs. Oh,
What?
now there's 1 bomb.
That was unlikely.
It was.
So
As
now...
our lessons throughout the day have taught us.
I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. Bloodyface has the opportunity to remove that Dr. Boom. He can Blast Master Boom, then Shield Slam and Hero Power. That's, I mean, that's what he can do.
He also just brawl.
Yes.
Or this, yeah.
Speak to me.
Warpath plus Acolyte. The one thing I don't like about Blastmaster is that boombots can waste damage on each other. It could be like 4 damage dealt to a single boombot, which is what I wasn't
Yeah, it is
really
kind
loving
of
about it.
it is kind of funny to watch Blastmaster Boom versus Blastmaster Boom, and this bomb's just
Oh yeah. You gotta
dunking
play
each
the
other.
Tavern Brawl Ignoble Garden, where you get like multiple different kinds of boombots. It's very funny. It's not exactly a consistent outcome every time, though. Eddie taking 1 bomb to the face, but can easily repair that damage with Dr. Boom. Alright, deal 1 damage to your opponent. Bloodyface. Actually, I wonder if he's happy or sad that Kaboom went off. The Blastmaster Boom is definitely really tricky. I guess he's okay with now because he can just get these 1-1.
zap. Blast Shield picked up
Oh.
already. Warpath.
Warpath, so he can Dynamatic double Warpath. Eh?
Well, double Warpath, Dynamatic. Can't Blast Shield. He can just Warpath once, and then Omega Devastator. And
Yeah.
Blast Shield.
That also works.
Okay then.
Could also Militia Commander trade Warpath, and then
Blast Shield.
Blast Shield.
Yep. Just which of these is the most important resource for him? Probably Omega Devastator. It's the most flexible. Dynamatic is the hardest to use, but Dynamatic is the
Okay,
one
then.
play that doesn't allow him to Blast Shield. And his goal is to survive. So I think the best middle ground is Militia Commander.
Oh, I love that music.
Those are my
It seems like it at first glance.
those are my quick thoughts.
I'm thinking about if there's any kind of Zilliax setup here, but I don't think you get enough. 4, 6,
And
7,
he has come to the same conclusion.
15 damage. That was half of Eddie's life. I'll point that out.
Defend the gates.
That blast shield is massive.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Bloodyface
That's his last bomb.
drew all 3 bombs.
And he still has 4 left in his deck.
Yes. Extremely unlikely that you draw more. Don't make me do the
I'm
math
sick
again.
of saying it. I don't want to say it anymore. I don't want to talk about bombs anymore, Dan.
Okay then.
Love, not bombs.
Light the fuses!
So Eddie has 4 love in his deck.
4 hugs.
4 hugs. 4 hugs in his deck. If he gets 4 hugs in a row, that's a jackpot.
I'm not sure. I'm not really read up on the Imperial system, but I'm pretty sure that's not how the conversion works, TJ.
It is.
Alright, so
Okay then.
Eddie has a pretty easy clear here with Dynamatic and Bump plus the hero power. Sets himself up for a clear on his side. He does have the option to kind of go for a Ziliax
This would
play
be
as
a
well
good
here,
time for a
because
master
Turn Rover
plan.
Ziliax is a very nice duo to double up on your health. Well, not double up, but get the ability to have your Turn Rover take damage.
Oh, I love that fuse thing.
I don't know how many more minions Dynamatic can find application to.
This would be a good
That's
time for
the
a
big
master plan.
thing, and also you
There's
have two-
really not many.
you have 2 copies in your hand.
I think there's 1 augmented Elic in the deck, and a Harrison Jones. I think those are really the only 2 minions that it can hit. But this works out very nicely for Eddie. Able to heal back up.
That's not a bad pickup. Bench Caliber allows Bloodyface to get past Eddie, and then
Well, he's probably doesn't do the same thing here. Negate the healing, yeah.
fair enough.
He has to kill him, so might as well negate that 6 healing.
Right, and also it gets his own healing too, which hit me at 15 is not a very comfortable. The difference in deck size, by the way, a large part of it is the bombs.
Yeah, there are 4 left and Eddie's deck and none in Bloodyface's deck. So you have to account for that. It's 11 cards from Eddie versus 8 from Bloodyface. So he's still ahead. And on top of that, he has Archivist Feliciana. So fatigue is,
Okay then.
as we mentioned many times, fatigue not an option for Bloodyface.
I wonder if Eddie just wants to drop Feliciana. Probably not. I mean, he's still at 4 bombs. It's just one of those things to think about as the game continues to progress.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Is he gonna wait for the other Elic? Eddie's at 6 cards, so even if he had a Mega Assembly, he'd still be safe from the 10 card keep.
Well, no, because he could delivery drone in a Mega Assembly.
Yeah, but
Oh, no, you're right. You're
Okay
right.
still be
then.
1 card.
No, he wouldn't.
slot.
He'd draw his natural card to 7, delivery drone to 8, a Mega Assembly to 10.
Oh, you're right.
Defend the
Congrats
gates.
on the natural card draw. You're right. You're right.
Bloodyface, on the other hand, in his primary deck, does not have any copies of a Mega Assembly.
Yeah, we've seen that from other players, like now you're down to the same thing.
Yep.
Light the fuses.
Not to be better prepared against some of the more aggressive decks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is a big armor swing for Eddie here. Gonna gain 4 more points of armor. If Blast Shield's on the other end of that button, Bloodyface's chances are diminished.
Clockwork Goblin, just more bombs.
All right, let's go. Let's do it again. More bombs. Go for the chance. You brawl?
This doesn't feel like something worth brawling.
Well, you brawl, removes minions, and has a chance to deal 4 damage effectively.
Okay then.
Because the Eternium Rover, by attacking into them, and the Scrap Hound, you'd give him 4 armor. So if you brawl, Clockwork Goblin brawl, it's like the maximum potential damage, which is really all that matters for Bloodyface. The only thing that matters right now is sticking damage and
Okay then.
minimizing armor. There is 0 win conditions outside of
Oh, I
those
love
things,
that fuse thing.
except Mechazoo.
Somebody order a bomb. Defend the gates.
Well, Looks like Bloodyface favors that tempo more than anything else.
Okay. Just a consideration. That's 5 bombs.
Augment to Alec, not going to do anything here. Eddie can just play it safe. You can Warpath this down. You can honestly even just do nothing if he wants to take 5 damage. He's at 32, so it's still relatively safe numbers.
Okay, then.
You said 5 bombs in the deck?
5 bombs. I think Eddie just counted them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 12, 15. Can you continue in Chinese?
No, I can't. I don't know why you would assume that. That's offensive, TJ.
I see how it is.
You think just because my family is Chinese and they're born in Taiwan, I spoke Chinese on stage, you assume I can count in Chinese?
No, I assume that you speak Chinese because you came to me and told me one time I speak Chinese.
Wow.
Sorry for my bold assumption. Dan, I just assumed that you were honest.
I need to speak with your manager, TJ. I'm very offended. Ooh, that's the picket we're talking about. Augmented Alec, Clockwork Goblin, End-Range Caliber. 4 more bombs for a total of 9 in the deck, excuse me.
9.
But we know that the...
What are the odds?
Well, actually, the Elysiana was played, so scratch that.
Yeah. So
4 more bombs.
there'd just be 4.
Okay, then.
Sounds good to me. It's not like he has much of a choice, to be honest. Let's look at his hand here. Bloodyface, like, Eddie played the Arcos Elysiana and then got ahead on tempo. Just to go show you how the situation's panning out. AK, it's not really.
All right, time to giddy up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Blast shield here is pretty big. Grom pickup, pretty nice. It seems like Eddie can go for a Warpath clear in hero power.
Yeah, I think the work path and just push 7. Put him on a clock. You have Grom as charge damage from hand.
Yeah. It's too bad he can't like Warpath Grom for face. Would have been 17.
He can.
Sorry. It's too bad it's not the right play.
Okay.
That belongs in a museum.
Forgot about the Harrison.
That makes sense too, shutting down an extra weapon swing. Oh.
Womp womp.
Funny how that worked out.
Yeah.
Bloodyface running out of options. Delivery drone. That's a nice pickup. Dynamatic is pretty good here too.
Yeah. So I think with a trade-in on the Clockwork Goblin, he's got a full clear with just Dynamatic.
Yes, he does.
And needs to stick a minion in any way possible. That's the goal here for Bloodyface. Stick a minion, hit face a couple times with that minion. Repeat.
There is a possibility for him to get value off of the warp.
Okay, then.
Because he has 8 mana remaining, he can deal with the minions, and then you can Mega Devastator and Dynamatic.
Oh, this sticks 2 minions, Dan. Dan pushes 3.
All right, I like it. Squeezing out every
All
little
right,
bit of
all
damage.
right, all right.
It's not, look, I totally understand. I was thinking about squeezing out value. This guy's thinking about tempo, and
There's
like,
no, you can't squeeze up.
there's just no way to outvalue this.
Get out of here with your value talk. This isn't Value Town.
I can wait
This is
longer.
Bombville.
Bomb City, Bomber City. Working title. Omega Devastator. Oh man, Eddie just keeps getting the Blast Shield. Blast Shield,
That is
aptly named deal with the pressure from the bombs.
That belongs in a museum.
And Bloodyface just hoping that the cards that Eddie was destroyed with Archivist Elysiana were all removal, and that all of the cards he got from the discover of Archivist Elysiana are all dumb, bad minions.
Well, apparently that wasn't the case here because Eddie has a pair of weapons projects just to
Okay,
get his life
then.
total up.
Weapons projects, Warpath, Grom. That's what we've seen.
Seems pretty effective so far.
Just staying alive. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, Eddie's just thinking about whether or not he wants to commit his Warpath, or if he wanted to perhaps commit the Omega Devastator. Omega Devastator feels like it's an alright option, but it could definitely be more efficient with
Oh,
it.
I love that fuse thing. Save the best for last.
It's just a little 2-for-1, which is nice. Thing is, he also knows Bloodyface is gonna have a delivery drone, so he doesn't have good removal if it ends up being a great minion.
Weaponized Pinata.
Oh yeah, weaponized pinata.
I think Weaponized Pinata has to be the choice.
I guess. Is the average legendary minion better than just having more stats that's sticky?
I don't think at this point you care about the average legendary minion. I think
we
at
need
this point you
higher.
care about the nuts legendary minions.
Alright. So we're looking for immense value, like
Archivist
Xterra.
Elysiana,
Yeah, or things that can generate value.
Mechathune. Ysera, sure, but Ysera's not even enough.
Armor
Made
Smith
to
Microbots.
Wow.
What a combo.
Let's see.
I'm almost out of cards.
Alright. Wow, if he's going for a Microbots brawl.
Chameleos is actually really good.
Doesn't even kill out the biggest minion. The Elix survives.
Wait a second. Didn't Chameleos rotate?
I don't believe so.
I thought it was an Aurora.
No, I believe it's from the which one?
Armor made
Let's
to
check.
fit. That's it. I'm out of cards.
Absolutely nothing to do here from Bloodyface. That's any resemblance of a good play here. Yes, it's turning over weapon.
Yeah, it was from the
project.
which one you're right.
Chameleos transforms into.
Brawl.
That doesn't even make sense. Oh, hey.
All right, still a chance for a Mechathune.
Oh, but he doesn't have time anymore.
No. Wait, does he not? Can he just play Weapons Project, survive for one turn, and then rush it into the Grom? Nah, he doesn't have time. You're right.
I don't think he has enough time, unfortunately.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're right.
Good try, though.
I give up. Self-destruct.
All right. Game one goes to Eddie. As predicted by the choices of the...
Just go home after their Warrior best of 3.
Or just
stay
stay at
home.
home. Yeah, just close out Hearthstone and do something else. We
Wow.
are stuck.
Bloodyface again, starting with Dr. Boom, Mad Genius in his opening hand.
All right. Well, so let's get into the changes here for both these players' decks. Eddie has opted to go for his tertiary deck, which he has removed 2 Eternium Rovers, a Warpath, a Weapons Project, and a Dynomatic. Cards that are hard to use against Warrior. And then he has added Baleful Banker, Double Sephorium Bomber,
Like it,
Grom Hellscream,
love it.
and Alex Straussman.
Yes, aggressive change.
Yes.
Instead of a defensive, I'm going to be even greedier.
Yeah. Bloodyface has chosen to go for his secondary deck, which he has removed, Eternium Rover, Warpath, Weapons Project, and Dynomatic, the same things Eddie's removed, and has added Double Omega Assembly, Baleful Banker, Omega Devastator, and Archivist Elysiana. So we're at pretty even footing here, whereas Bloodyface has a little bit extra removal, I think, and Eddie just has more bigger minions.
Fair enough. Good breakdown there, TJ.
Thank you.
All right, so in this case, neither player should truly be that afraid of the draw. In this case, Bloodyface. What? Okay, all right. Immediately draws the bomb that got shoveled in last turn.
So we don't have to worry about it. Cool.
Yeah. I wonder if Bloodyface wants to shield slam this to take a little bit less damage, because the pressure plan is very real here for Eddie, because he's going to curve out to a C4 bomber.
I got a bomb for you.
I guess Deja Vu, shield block, shield slam, or I guess he can just hero power shield slam if he wants to be a little more conservative with his resources. That being said, being conservative with resources isn't necessarily the game plan currently right now. And shield block isn't exactly like a resource in this matchup per se, because you know, with the second shield slam being used, it's not like you're gathering shield block to combo with that, so
yeah.
Less uses for it.
Somebody order a bomb.
Another Clockwork Goblin being thrown into the mix here. Bloodyface looking like he's a defensive control warrior type scenario. He's just kind of removing and playing Dr. Boom, and Eddie's just pressuring with minions. Nice, picks up the Zap Cannon.
Wow.
Blastmaster Boom!
Oh, yeah! We got ourselves a game.
Are you kidding me, man? Oh no!
Bloodyface doesn't have a great way to deal with this. In fact, he doesn't have a way to deal with this. Mega Devastator not active, it does have Rush. That's the only mech in his hand. His Blastmaster Boom has nothing in it. He can shield block, but then what does he get?
Yeah, the shield block shield slam combination seems a lot better now.
Yeah. This could be a problem. Also, since he played Dr. Boom Mad Genius, his ability to gain armor is limited to 1, getting Blast Shield from one of the 4 hero powers, 2, shield block. He needs something big, something real big. Well, he can Omega Devastator trade and zap. Big resource though, and he's still staring at 9 damage.
Yeah, I like the Omega Devastator zap. I think you want to gain 7 life here. It doesn't feel great because there's still 9 damage on the board, and you're working at half life. In fact, if your opponent has like a whirlwind type of situation and you draw a bomb, that's offensive. Trying to, that's like their 5th language you're trying to speak today. Bloodyface still doesn't have a way to deal with this. Okay, can you get something off the delivery drone here that would be his golden ticket out of the situation?
No. He can get Zilliax. Militia Commander is okay. But still, he's taking little bits of damage, and that damage is not being made up for by any type of life gain. Brilliant Nullifier. That's interesting.
It's really good. If he finds this Eternium Rover with it.
Yeah, Dynomatic actually also can... if that's the case, Dynomatic is going to be better here because you can take off the... You can take off both.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can take off both. It's better mana utilization.
Right.
Oh. Spooky.
Dramatic zoom effect. It's like, I wonder what he's thinking. And we just go
Right now.
deeper into his eye.
Okay, then.
Security rover. Best tempo immediately. Pretty straightforward. Boom Reaver, you have to wait for the next turn.
And still gets to push the maximum 6 damage.
Well, and you know what? This is also anti-Warpath tech, and also the Kaboom tech, too.
It is.
in there.
Bloodyface still not picking up anything to remove this board consistently.
I think Bloodyface might be dead.
Wow. Dead before turn 10, Dan? What has happened?
That's really funny. Like,
We've been saying
Eddie might legitimately can, like, brawl for the victory next turn.
We've been saying, Dan. I'm so happy.
Oh, we're not out of the woods just yet, TJ.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Focus. Focus.
Yeah.
He can shield block into.
Shield block into
This
Warpath
would be a good
is.
time for a master
No, it doesn't have
plan.
to clear everything.
I mean, yeah.
But one thing is for sure is that shield blocking is definitely preferable.
Shield block into brawl. Or just dynamic trade over.
And then shield block into
Acolyte.
Oh, I think maybe he wants to kaboom so that his dynamic absorbs damage. Like maybe he plays Baleful Banker and then kaboom, so that way the boom bots have a chance of hitting something that's not his space.
If he Baleful Bankers, though, then Eddie can just change his game plan and say, okay, we're going to fatigue. See ya. All right, well, can shuffle another bomb in the deck.
How
but
much damage is this? 6 damage, and then if everything does 1, it's 4, so 10, and then 2 from the Weapons Project, that's 12?
Well, no, because he gains 6 armor, so it's -4 from Weapons Project.
Oh, you're right. So Weapons Project gains life for his opponent. Alright. Just has to hit a little bit.
I mean, this is
It's
lethal
average
a
damage.
lot of times. Not even, less than average. Nailed it.
Eddie takes
Eddie.
it 2-0 over Bloodyface with a command.